Look around you. The horizon stays flat, an endless line that never dips or curves. Water always levels itself. Sunrise and sunset proceed predictably along straight paths across the sky. What if that isn't illusion, but fact? What if Earth is flat and they hid it? For centuries, we trusted the globe narrative. We believed scientists, textbooks, space agencies, astronauts. We watched rockets launch, often applauded satellite diagrams, and accepted Earth as a spinning marble. But what if it was all orchestrated? A grand theater built to conceal a startling truth. Imagine every mission was scripted, every image edited, every story crafted to mislead us entirely. Antarctica appears as a border wrapping the disk, a continent, or perhaps something more sinister. Access is restricted, travel limited. What truths lie beyond that frigid wall at Earth's edge? They say the horizon curves, but rise above in plane or balloon and it remains completely flat. Wide-angle lenses distort, cameras lie. Only raw, unprocessed footage reveals the world's honest shape. They claim satellites orbit silently overhead, but when did you last see one with your eyes? GPS works, yet nobody traces satellites. Could signals instead emanate from hidden ground networks? If Earth is flat, why invent cosmic orbits? They offer direction, not truth. They show you Earth as a glowing sphere, picture after glossy picture. But look again, each image is stitched, layers forced into unity. A seamless illusion built from multiple frames, clouds misaligned, land masses mismatched. The composite hides inconsistencies with digital surgery. Why fake what exists, unless what exists isn't truly there at all? The sun, they say, is millions of kilometers away, yet it behaves like a local spotlight. It hovers, shrinks, circles above. Ancient people described it that way. Maybe they saw the truth. They say gravity pulls us down, but perhaps objects fall because they're heavier, not because of force. No spinning core, just weight, density, buoyancy. An explanation grounded in observable reality. We're told Earth hurtles through space at tremendous speed, yet we feel nothing. A silent, steady world, rockets arc sideways, never ascending straight. If space lies above, why curve trajectory away? What if rockets never left? What if the missions were illusions, stories wrapped in flames and fuel? What if NASA isn't exploring space, but constructing a convenient fiction to shape what we believe? Billions spent, places sold, images curated, stories repeated as gospel until unquestioned. But what if truth is grounded, tethered to reality, and far more terrifying than fiction permits? What if Earth was made flat, stable, enclosed, centered around us, within a protective dome overhead? A plane with boundaries, a hidden edge sealed by ice, humans positioned at its heart, undisguised. Flat Earth believers test it. Lasers, levels, lakes, canals. The horizon stays level, the math aligns. Measurements match observation. Reality isn't complicated. It's simple, consistent, undeniably tangible. Yet institutions mock, platforms ban. Curiosity is shut down. Fear reigns over critical thought. Why such aggression to preserve the globe's story? Because if Earth is flat, everything else unravels. Every institution, every textbook, every mission, but most of all, the foundations of belief crumble. If they lied about this, what else is built on deception? What truths remain buried beneath? Knowledge is power. Control perception, and you control every human narrative that follows. A globe narrative shrinks you. You're a speck on a spinning ball, random, unimportant. A flat narrative places you at center, designed, integral, purposeful, empowered. They don't want that. They want compliance, distraction, cosmic insignificance bred into acceptance. But if Earth is flat, what else lies beyond? Beyond the ice wall, beyond the dome overhead, beyond their borders, beyond their lies, there's truth waiting, poised. If you've ever felt there's more, this glitch in their story, Maybe that feeling matters. Wakefulness begins when one questions what they've never doubted. Perhaps we were never meant to accept their spinning globe. Maybe we were meant to wake up. So ask yourself, what if the Earth is flat? What if they've known it all along? Every rocket, every launch, every countdown was designed to validate the globe narrative, not challenge it. We clapped, we believed, we nodded at the screens, never asking, where does the image truly originate? They sold you the concept of space travel, of distant stars, of cosmic insignificance. And it stuck. But what if none of it was real? What if the final frontier was never meant to exist? Imagine a flat world, concealed behind walls you can't cross, under a sky that's nothing but a dome. A constructed reality maintained by images, by spins, by a narrative too compelling to question. Science cites equations. Models rely on assumptions. Yet every test we can perform ourselves fits a flat Earth. You can measure, adjust, observe, no rotation, no arc, no need for exotic physics, just plain sight. They say weather satellites monitor storms, but where are they? The weather moves. Satellites boom on paper. What if weather tracking is ground-based too? Forecasts built on terrestrial data, not orbital eyes. They say we see satellites at night, glinting. But streaks in the sky don't prove orbit. They prove nothing. You've seen the streaks. Blink, and they're gone. But they still make you look up and believe. They tell us seasons happen because tilt and orbit, but temperatures shift as sun circles closer. Sun's altitude changes by moving above, not tilting below. Visible, measurable, local. It fits the model. Tracking sun paths reveals circle patterns above. Ancient calendars accounted for it precisely. Maybe they saw truth. They mapped solstices, equinoxes, aligned pyramids accordingly. They weren't priests, they were observers. They understood sun's path, moon's behavior. They didn't fabricate myths, they recorded reality. But modern science dismissed them, laughed at their geometry, replaced observation with equations we can't feel. What if the shift wasn't progress, but suppression of truth? What if we traded clarity for confusion? Look at maps. Flat projections only. Mercator, azimuthal, they distort. Why hide edges with distortion? Edge distortion hides boundaries. Infinite models create doubt, diverting attention from reality's perimeter. They say maps are approximations, but why approximate when ground truth could be directly visible? Because they don't want you to see. They don't want you to arrive at the rim, the boundary where everything changes. Control originates from limitation. If you don't know the limits, you can't challenge the narrative they feed. Belief reinforces belief. Institutions confirm each other. Textbooks preach, history repeats. You accept and move on. But one woke mind cracks the facade. One question cracks the story. You just witnessed one. What if the Earth is flat? Not a metaphor, but a fact. And you're living on a stage. A flat stage, a set. With actors, scripts, cameras, you in the audience, or the lead. Now ask yourself, what else have they scripted? What else have we swallowed node by node? Check your steps. Look again. Rotate the camera lens. Undo the distortion. Reveal the lines previously hidden. Use levels, lasers, lakes, horizons, tools you control. The planet should align with your tools. It shouldn't warp to fit the tale being told. Your experience is primary, not their story. Still, scientists will shout, but gravity, and mathematicians will counter with equations. But do they prove reality? Equations model assumptions. They assume curvature, spin. They fit the premise, but don't prove it. Ask them, could assumptions be wrong? Could re-examining fundamentals reveal what we lost in translation? What if flat Earth isn't a fringe idea, but the original assumption? The default, until proven otherwise. We reversed the burden of proof. We accepted globe as truth requiring no proof. That's not science, that's faith. If Earth is truly flat, then we're at the center. Not by chance, not by random alignment, by design. Design implies a designer. That revelation shifts everything, from meaning to fear to identity. Who would hide that design? Who would benefit from anonymity? What power lies in concealment? Control. Conformity. A disconnected humanity believing it drifts aimlessly through a meaningless void. But wakeful humanity, conscious humanity at the center, changes the script entirely. Because when you know your place, everything changes. Space becomes intimate, purpose becomes clear, knowledge frees, lies enslave, and the shape of Earth is the first lie we must question. Don't ask for proof from them. Provide it yourself. Observe, measure, record, share. Let raw footage speak. Let sight prevail. Let boundaries show themselves, line by line. That's how awakening begins. Not with voices telling you the truth, but your own eyes seeing it. The edge awaits. It's not mythical. It's the next horizon, literal and symbolic. Will you step toward it, or stay safe where they say the world bends?